We're going to talk about sequences right now. And what is a sequence? A sequence is just an ordered list of items, and we usually have some sort of pattern with it. So usually with numbers, we're going to have maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. We could have other sorts of patterns. We could even have shapes being a sequence, and I'm sure you've seen some, so let's write some out real quick. So some of the shape sequences you might have seen, say, an upright line, a bottom line, top line, and then an upright line, a bottom line, and a top line. Sorry about the scrunchiness there. Or you might have seen a triangle, a square, a pentagon, and so on. So a hexagon would be next. So those are some sequences that we see that are shapes. You can have all sorts of other shapes as well, like a tulip, and then an iris, and then a rose, and then a tulip, an iris, rose. So you have some sort of pattern. So with numbers, however, we often keep going. We don't have a repeating pattern, but we do have a pattern. So for even numbers, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, etc. For the odd numbers, we'd have 1, 3, 5, 7, so on. We could also have multiples of numbers like 3, 6, 9, 12, or 5, 10, 15, 20, so on. All sorts of different things. Those are all sequences. A very famous sequence that you may have heard of in other places is the Fibonacci sequence. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. This is what's called a recursive sequence, and we will talk about those when we talk about recursive sequences. Fibonacci sequences can be seen in nature in various ways, and again, we're not going to be talking about that right now, but there are many other ways that we can have sequences, and we will look at those in some other videos. So a sequence, we're going to usually start with A1, A2, A3, and keep going. So often it will go beyond AN, where n is just any number, and it could go off to infinity. If it's finite, it will stop at a number. Sometimes it will start at A0. So that can happen as well. It could be A sub 0. So we could go A sub 0, A1, A2, and say we only want to go up to the 12th one. So in this case, it would be A11 would be 12 items. So that's, in general, what a sequence is. I hope this helps you with the basic idea of a sequence.